There are moments in life when everything you thought was certain seems to slip from your hands, and you are left standing in the silence, wondering why the things you cherished most had to vanish. Yet within that silence, a deeper truth begins to unfold, a truth that whispers to the chosen one that nothing is ever truly lost. What has left you? What has been taken? What has crumbled before your very eyes will not remain gone forever. Life, in its mysterious rhythm, has a way of returning what is yours, not as it was, but multiplied, transformed, and aligned with the measure of your dreams. You see, what is gone prepares the ground for what is greater to arrive. And when the universe moves, it does not bring back fragments. It brings back wholeness in abundance. The losses you have endured are not the end of your story. They are the soil where the seeds of your greatest blessings have been planted, waiting for their time to rise again. And before we go further, I want you to do something important. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because every word you hear is part of a greater energy moving in your life right now. If you believe in the fulfillment of your heart's desires, if you believe that what you lost will return in the fullness of your dream, then hold that energy and write your most sincere wishes along with 777 in the comments. Let this be your confirmation to the universe that you are ready for restoration. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel so you never miss the messages meant to uplift and prepare you for what's coming. This is not just about listening, it is about stepping into alignment and letting the energy of your faith unlock the doors that are about to open. Think about the things you once thought were gone forever, the relationships, the opportunities, the resources, the peace in your heart. There are seasons where it feels like everything is stripped away. In those seasons, doubt creeps in and tells you that perhaps you will never rise again, that perhaps your dream has died with the loss. But what you must know, chosen one, is that the loss was never meant to break you. It was meant to transform you. The universe does not operate on subtraction, it operates on multiplication. What left was never meant to leave you empty. It was meant to create space so that what is meant to return can come in fullness. And when it comes back, it will not just be as it was. It will carry the weight of your dream, shaped by your faith and your endurance. Imagine for a moment that everything you carried in your heart as a dream is not forgotten, even when it seems delayed. Dreams are not destroyed by time or by loss. They are preserved, like seeds waiting beneath the soil. The storm may have passed over, the ground may look barren, but beneath the surface, something powerful is stirring. And when the right season arrives, the soil will break open, and what was buried will rise, stronger and more radiant than before. This is the promise of return. This is why you cannot look at your loss as final. It was never meant to be the end. It was meant to be a beginning, disguised as an ending. Sometimes we forget that the universe hears the cries we never speak out loud. The unspoken prayers, the silent tears, the aching in the heart that longs for restoration, none of it is ignored. The energy you pour into your dream is alive, and it shapes the reality around you. Even when you think nothing is happening, everything is aligning. And one day, the door that seemed locked will swing wide open, and what you thought was gone will return, magnified. That is the power of faith. That is the rhythm of life. And that is the confirmation for you right now. Your return is closer than you imagine, and what you lost will come back as the very dream you carried within. So do not allow your mind to sink into the thought that loss is permanent. It is not. The chosen ones are never left in emptiness. The chosen ones experience losses only to make space for greater fulfillment. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared. And what is on its way is not small. It is not halfway. It is everything you have dreamed, everything you have prayed, everything you have held on to even when your hands were empty. It is coming, and when it arrives, you will see clearly why you had to go through the valley of loss first. There comes a time in every journey when the weight of what you have lost seems to overshadow every glimpse of hope. You begin to measure your life not by what you have, but by what slipped away. It may have been a friendship you thought would last forever, a job you worked tirelessly for, or the peace you once felt when life seemed stable and predictable. And when those things vanish, it feels as if the very structure of your existence has been shaken. But here is what you must understand. Chosen one. Loss is never random. It carries a purpose that is hidden from the eye at first glance. What is lost becomes the very opening for something greater to find its way into your life. Just because it is gone does not mean it has disappeared forever. The universe does not erase, it transforms, and it prepares to return what has been stripped from you in a way that will align perfectly with the size of your dream. When you look at the word lost, it can feel final, almost like a door slammed shut. But think of it differently. Lost is often a temporary state, a pause, a hidden preparation. Imagine someone taking a seed and placing it deep in the soil. On the surface, it looks gone, lost beneath the earth. Yet underneath, a powerful process begins. The seed transforms, breaks open, and rises again. That is the nature of your own experiences. What you thought was buried in disappointment, what you thought was wasted time, was never wasted at all. It was the preparation ground for growth. The return does not happen overnight, but it happens with certainty when faith continues to water the soil. So many people walk away from their dreams because of the pain of loss. They think the dream has expired, that too much time has passed, or that circumstances have closed the door permanently. But the truth is, dreams do not die. They wait. They wait for you to align with the right moment, the right strength, the right version of yourself who can carry them without being crushed. The dream you once carried, even if you thought it was gone, is still alive. The universe remembers it even when you try to forget. The return of your dream will often come when you least expect it, when you have nearly given up, only to discover that nothing was wasted. Every tear, every trial, every moment of endurance was a brick laid on the path that would lead you back to fulfillment. It is important to recognize that return rarely looks the same as what was lost. Often, it comes better, stronger, richer, carrying the weight of everything you endured to reach it. If you lost peace, what will return is not the fragile calm you once had, but a deeper, unshakable peace that comes from surviving storms. If you lost love, what will return is not a half-hearted connection, but a bond rooted in truth and growth. If you lost opportunities, what will return are doors so wide that you will wonder why you ever cried over the ones that closed. This is the way the universe honors your endurance, by multiplying what you lost into something you could only dream of before. Chosen one, you must remember that loss has a rhythm, and so does restoration. There is always a season where things seem stripped away, but that is the very season when foundations are strengthened. Think about it. How could you truly value what is about to return if you had never known the ache of losing it? How could you step into the fullness of your dream if you had not been stretched, prepared, and reshaped by loss? The trials you face are not punishments, they are alignments. Every loss points you closer to your destiny, clearing away what could not walk with you into your future. The dream is still waiting. The return is still promised. And your story is far from finished. There are times when you stand in the middle of your life and feel surrounded by echoes of everything you once had. The memory of what was lost follows you like a shadow, whispering of moments that cannot be relived and paths that cannot be walked again. Yet even in those haunting memories, a subtle reminder remains. Nothing is gone beyond the reach of restoration. What you thought was permanently broken can still be made whole. And what you considered buried forever can still rise in a form far more radiant than before. It is in this tension between sorrow and hope that the chosen one discovers the true meaning of endurance. To endure is to carry faith through silence, to trust that every dream still lives even when you cannot see the evidence around you. The hardest part of losing something is not the moment of loss itself, but the long nights that follow, the waiting, the uncertainty, the aching silence that seems to have no end. In those hours, doubt tells you to give up, to let go of your dream, to believe that life has already written its final line. But if you are honest with yourself, you know that even in your most fragile state, there is still a quiet voice urging you to hold on. That voice is the promise of return. It is not loud, it does not demand attention, but it never leaves. And when you learn to trust it, even in the absence of evidence, you begin to realize that the future holds far more than the past ever could. Think about the many times in history when people lost everything, only to rise again stronger than before. Nations rebuilt after devastation, families restored after years of distance, individuals who stood up after failure and found themselves living dreams far greater than the ones they first imagined. Your story is no different. What has been taken from you does not define you. It refines you. The very pain of what you lost shapes the capacity of your heart to carry what will return. And though the journey may feel unbearably long, remember this: every delay has a purpose, and every setback is an alignment. The dream you hold inside has not abandoned you. It is simply preparing for its moment to unfold. One of the most powerful truths about life is that return often surprises us. You may be looking in one direction, expecting restoration to come from the same place you lost it. But the universe rarely works that way. The return often comes from places you never thought to look, through people you never expected, at times you thought were barren. That is why faith is so important. It keeps your heart open when logic tells you to close the door. You cannot measure the promise of return by the limits of your understanding. You must believe that what is meant for you will find you, no matter how far it seems to have wandered. The chosen one does not cling to the past. They trust the unfolding of destiny. Yes, the loss was real. Yes, the pain was deep. But within that loss, something eternal was written, a dream that cannot be erased. You may carry scars from what you endured, but those scars are not proof of weakness. They are proof of survival. And survival always leads to transformation. You are not the same person you were when you first experienced loss. You are stronger now, wiser now, and ready for a return that will not only restore, but elevate. So do not confuse silence with absence. Just because you cannot see the return yet, does not mean it is not already on its way. The dream is still alive, and the return has already been written into your story. It is coming, and when it arrives, you will see how every step, even the painful ones, led you here. When you look back at the journey of your life, there are chapters that seem almost too heavy to revisit. The moments when you felt everything you worked for was suddenly gone, when the security you trusted dissolved in front of your eyes, when what you loved most was torn from your grasp without warning. In those moments, you felt powerless, as though the world had declared an end to your story. But endings, chosen one, are rarely what they seem. What looks like the final page is often just the pause before a new chapter begins, one that reveals the deeper strength you didn't even know you carried. What you once called lost was not the destruction of your destiny. It was the redirection that would carry you closer to the fulfillment of your dream. Loss is not simply absence, it is transformation. Think of it this way: when a river changes its course, it does not disappear. It continues to flow, carving a new path, reaching places it never touched before. The same is true of your life. What left you did not vanish. It is flowing toward you in a new form, preparing to return at the appointed time. You may not see the path clearly, but that does not mean the current is not moving. Behind the curtain of your struggles, everything is aligning to bring you into harmony with what you were always meant to receive. It is easy to believe that life is unfair when you focus only on the pain of loss. But if you step back and look at the larger picture, you begin to see that each loss stripped away what could not stay, what would have limited you, what would have kept you from stepping into the fullness of your calling. The universe does not take without giving. It reshapes. And in that reshaping, it creates space for the kind of return that not only restores, but multiplies. The dream you carried in your heart is still alive, but it will not return to you small or ordinary. It will return magnified, because your endurance has stretched your capacity to hold more than you once believed possible. There is also a hidden wisdom in the timing of return. Many times, the reason something has not yet come back is because you are still being prepared to handle its weight. Think about it. If your dream had returned too soon, before you were ready, it may have crushed you instead of lifted you. The delay was not punishment, it was protection. Life knows the exact moment when your spirit is strong enough, your perspective clear enough, your heart steady enough to receive what you have been waiting for. And when that moment comes, the return will not be fragile or fleeting. It will be enduring. Chosen one, you are walking proof that loss does not end a story. You are still here. You are still standing. And that means the return is still ahead of you. What you thought was buried has been growing in silence, waiting for the right season to break through. Just as winter cannot last forever, your season of emptiness cannot endure without end. Spring always comes, and with it comes new life, fresh opportunities, renewed strength, and the realization that nothing was wasted. Every tear watered the soil of your future. Every prayer released energy into the universe that is now circling back to you. Every time you chose faith over fear, you were building the bridge toward your dream's return. So lift your eyes from the ground of what was lost and look forward to the horizon of what is coming. There is more for you than what has been taken. There is greater ahead than what lies behind. Your dream is not dead. It is preparing to return, carrying the fullness of everything you hoped for and more. And when it arrives, you will understand why it had to leave in the first place. It was never rejection. It was preparation for restoration beyond measure. There is a sacred truth hidden in the experience of loss. It forces you to look deeper into yourself, to discover a strength you might never have known if life had always been easy. When everything is going well, when nothing has been taken, it is tempting to believe you are strong simply because life is smooth. But real strength is revealed when you are stripped of what you thought you could never live without. When something precious is lost, you are faced with a choice. You can let despair consume you, or you can rise with faith, trusting that what will return will not only restore, but surpass what was taken. It is in this decision, repeated day after day, that the chosen one is shaped into someone capable of carrying a dream larger than before. Loss often leaves us with questions that echo in our hearts. Why did this happen? Why me? Why now? At first, the silence can feel unbearable. It may seem as if the universe has turned its face away, leaving you with nothing but unanswered prayers. But silence is not abandonment. Silence is the soil where transformation begins. Just as a seed buried in darkness cannot yet be seen, your restoration is already unfolding even when your eyes cannot trace it. What you call lost is often not gone. It is simply hidden until the moment of return is ready. Your dream, the one you thought had faded, is still alive within you. It breathes in the background of your life, waiting for the right alignment to emerge. Many times when we say something is lost, what we really mean is that we can no longer see how it could happen. But dreams do not depend on your ability to calculate their path. They depend on faith, persistence, and the unseen forces working in your favor. The return of what you lost will come, but not through the channels you expected. It will surprise you, humbling you with the realization that life had never forgotten you, even when you felt forgotten. Consider how many times you believed a door was closed forever, only to later realize it had been replaced by a far greater opportunity. The love that walked away made room for the love that was meant for you. The job you lost opened the path for a calling that aligned with your soul. The stability that crumbled forced you to grow wings and discover strength you did not know you possessed. Every time you thought it was the end, the return was secretly preparing. And when it came, you looked back and understood that the pain was necessary to reveal the fullness of the blessing. The chosen one knows that surrender is not defeat. To surrender is to release control over how the dream will return and when it will appear. It is to trust that timing is sacred, that life is wiser than impatience, and that your story is unfolding exactly as it should. Yes, you experienced loss. Yes, it hurt deeply. But you are not defined by the emptiness of what was taken. You are defined by the resilience that carried you forward, by the faith that refused to let go, by the courage to keep dreaming even when all evidence told you not to. That is why the return will not pass you by. It has been written into your path since the very beginning. So as you walk forward, hold on to this truth. The dream is not behind you, it is ahead of you. What was lost is not gone forever. It is preparing to return in greater measure. Your journey is not about clinging to what slipped through your fingers, but about opening your hands to receive what is about to arrive. And when it does, you will stand in awe, realizing that every tear, every struggle, and every delay was not in vain. It was all leading you here, to the moment when your dream returns as the abundance you always longed for. There is a hidden strength that only reveals itself after loss. When the things you held close are gone, when what you thought was unshakable crumbles, you are left with yourself, raw, vulnerable, and searching. At first it feels unbearable, as if the emptiness will consume you. But slowly, Without realizing it, you begin to discover that you are still breathing, still standing, still capable of moving forward. This resilience is the quiet proof that your story is not finished. What you lost has not destroyed you. Instead, it has reshaped you into someone who is ready for what will return. And the return is never small. It matches the depth of the dream that kept you alive through the storm. The pain of loss can feel like a thief, stealing your joy, your peace, your sense of direction. But look closer, chosen one. That same pain becomes a teacher, showing you what truly matters, revealing strengths you never imagined you had. Without the sting of loss, you might have settled for less, clung to what was comfortable, and missed the greater path waiting ahead. What is taken is not meant to diminish you. It is meant to expand you. And when the dream comes back to life, it comes not as a fragile echo of what was, but as a vibrant fulfillment of what always was meant to be. Have you noticed how, in moments of loss, your perspective changes? Suddenly, the things you once overlooked become precious. Gratitude grows in the soil of emptiness. Hope shines brighter in the darkest night. You begin to understand that the return is not just about restoring what you lost, but about transforming who you are. The dream does not come back the same. It comes back through you, refined by your endurance, made greater by your willingness to keep moving forward when everything in you wanted to stop. Sometimes you may feel impatient, wondering why the return has not yet arrived. But delay is not denial. The universe works with timing, and timing is precise. Just as a tree cannot bear fruit out of season, your dream cannot return before its appointed time. Every moment you wait, every step you take in faith, is not wasted. It is building alignment. And when the time is right, what you thought was lost will come rushing back into your life, multiplied, overflowing, undeniable. That is why the chosen one keeps believing, even when the evidence is thin, because faith sees beyond the present into the promise of what is yet to come. The beauty of this journey is that you will not only witness the return, you will understand it. You will look back and realize that the pain, the silence, the loneliness were all part of the preparation. If you had not walked through loss, you would not have had the capacity to receive the fullness of your dream. The return requires strength, and loss built that strength within you. The return requires clarity, and loss sharpened your vision. The return requires humility, and loss reminded you of what truly matters. Everything you endured has been shaping you into someone who can not only receive the dream, but hold it, protect it, and grow with it. So do not despise the season of emptiness. Do not curse the chapters that broke your heart. They are not wasted. They are sacred. They are the reason your return will be greater than anything you imagined. The dream is alive. The return is near. And the chosen one within you already knows. What you lost was never the end. It was the hidden beginning of a destiny that is still unfolding, step by step, moment by moment, until fullness arrives. Chosen one, your story was never defined by what you lost, but by what is destined to return. Every tear, every sleepless night, every unanswered question has been shaping the space where your dream will rise again. Do not doubt the silence. It has been preparing you. Do not fear the waiting. It has been aligning you. What you thought was gone forever is on its way back, not as it was, but greater, stronger, and overflowing. This is your confirmation. The return is near. The dream is alive, and the best chapter of your life has not even begun yet. Hold on. The universe has already written your victory. You may think what you lost is gone forever, but chosen one, it's preparing to return greater than your dream. Stay until the end. Your breakthrough is closer than you imagine.